How do the US Trump tariffs hit the pharma industry in India? Here's decoding the ripple effect. In February 2025, US President Donald Trump announced his intention to impose a tariff of 25% or higher on pharmaceutical imports, a move that is poised to significantly impact India's pharmaceutical industry. Indian drug makers, which supply nearly half of all generic prescriptions filled in the US, play a crucial role in providing affordable medications to American patients. In 2022, these generic drugs contributed to $408 billion in savings for the US healthcare system. Potential impact on Indian pharmaceutical companies. The proposed tariffs could have profound implications for Indian pharmaceutical firms, many of which rely heavily on the US market for revenue. In fiscal year 2024, India's pharmaceutical exports to the US amounted to approximately $8.7 billion, representing about 31% of the industry's total exports. Key Indian pharmaceutical companies with substantial exposure to the US market include Sun Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. The largest drug maker in India, Sun Pharma derived 32% of its total revenue from the US market in fiscal 2024. The company exports to over 100 countries, with overseas sales accounting for 72.7% of its total revenue. Dr. Reddy's Laboratories North America is the largest market for Dr. Reddy's, contributing 47% of its total sales in fiscal 2024. The company relies on key generic drugs in oncology and immunology therapies, which saw a 28% increase in sales year over year. Cipla. As India's third largest drug maker by revenue, Cipla generated 30% of its total revenue from North America in fiscal 2024. It ranks among the top 15 prescription drug providers in the US, offering generic respiratory and oncology medications. Biocon. With 44% of its total revenue coming from the US market in fiscal 2024, Biocon primarily thrives on biosimilar drugs used for treating conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and cancer. Lupin's North American sales accounted for 37% of its overall revenue in fiscal 2024, marking a 30% increase from the previous year. The company attributes this growth to strong demand for its respiratory and antiretroviral generic drugs. The imposition of a 25% tariff on pharmaceutical imports could increase the cost structure for these companies, potentially reducing their competitiveness in the US market. This may lead to higher drug prices for American consumers if companies pass on the additional costs. Industry experts warn that such tariffs could disrupt the global supply chain, affecting both the affordability and availability of essential medicines in the US. Industry response and concerns. The Indian Pharmaceutical Alliance, IPA, has expressed concerns regarding the proposed tariffs. Sudarshan Jain, Secretary General of the IPA, highlighted the significant role Indian pharmaceutical companies play in supplying affordable, quality-assured medicines to the US, noting that they provide nearly 47% of the generic medicines for American patients. Jain emphasized the importance of continued dialogue between the two nations to address the issue, underscoring the long-standing collaborative partnership in healthcare. Impact on stock market. Following the announcement of the proposed tariffs, Indian pharmaceutical stocks experienced notable declines. The Nifty Pharma Index fell by as much as 10%, with major companies like Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, Sun Pharma, and Cipla seeing significant dips. Analysts have indicated that firms with substantial exposure to the US market are more vulnerable to the potential tariffs. Ongoing negotiations and future outlook. In response to the proposed tariffs, diplomatic discussions between the US and India have been initiated. On April 7, 2025, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Indian Foreign Minister Subramanyam Jaishankar held a phone discussion to address US tariffs on Indian imports and the pursuit of a fair and balanced trade relationship. Both officials emphasized the importance of concluding a bilateral trade agreement, swiftly indicating a mutual commitment to enhancing trade cooperation, reports Reuters. While the proposed tariffs have not yet been implemented, the potential impact on the Indian pharmaceutical industry remains a significant concern. The situation underscores the delicate balance in international trade relations and the need for continued engagement to ensure the stability and affordability of essential medicines globally. Let the tariff war settle as soon as possible for the Indian healthcare industry to continue healing the ailing across the globe. Thanks for watching. Be with my channel for all health-related issues and parameters.